I hit record. I didn't get the message, so we may, yay.
Hey, it's time to get started with Take Action Tuesday. Training. Sorry, Take Action
That's
training.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to today's Take Action training. I am Julie.
I'm Jess.
And together we're socially inclined. Not get socially inclined. We will help you get socially inclined. Today's training is on CTAs, and if you don't know what that is call to actions, and specifically how to write call to actions that convert. So this can be for social media, this can be for blogs, this can be for anything. This is a skill that you will learn once and you will apply in many, many places. Jessica has just shared the call to action resource for today.
For sure. And if call to action seems a little specific and you're like, call to action, I don't even know how to write a post. Good news. We've already done a caption writing training. So if you have no idea that we'd already done that and you're interested in that caption writing training, head on over to sociallyinclined.com/take action and grab your seat in the Take Action training program. And one of the 28 trainings that are already available is specifically about caption writing in its entirety. Today is going to be specifically about how to end that caption by asking for the sale or asking for the sign up or whatever it is, whatever action that you want them to take after they have interacted with that piece of content, how to do it well and how to do it in the most highly converting way possible.
Exactly. It is one of the biggest skills. So many people lack sales on social. And most of the reason is because they're not asking for the sale, or the flip side of that is they're asking for the sale too much. So there is going to be a fine line. When we say every post needs to end with a call to action, yes, but it doesn't always have to be a promotional type call to action. Today's are going to be more of that, but again, I'm excited to bring this to you today. So, all right, let's get started. And on this format for Take Actions, we normally hold questions. Debbie's here, and hopefully she will gather those to the end, because we try to make this really a streamlined session to teach. So I think we've covered what a call to action is. Basically, you're just asking someone to do the next step that's in your funnel. Speaking of funnels, we talked about funnels and Take Action as well.
Yeah. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, maybe you're a little more passive, or you're new to sales, or you're new to business and it's just not natural for you. Direct response marketing is something that we talk about a lot. We mention a lot because it's so important. And that's just like a principle, if you will, where it's just a fact of human nature that if you want someone to do something, you have to ask them to do it, which is why we see so many new small business owners struggle, so many network marketers fail, if you will, because they don't understand this, or they don't want to embrace it. But the reality is if you want to make sales, or if you want to get signups on your newsletter, or if you want people to download your freebie, you have to say the words or something similar to the words that encourages them, compels them to take the action that you're asking them to take. So I just wanted to put my direct response marketing principle in there.
Exactly. We do have a lot of direct marketers in here, but we also have brick and mortar. We have online digital product makers, whatever. This applies across the board. Okay. So again, just to reiterate, the main point here is every post you put out should have some type of call to action. It doesn't have to be a promo call to action, but it does need to ask them to do something, to take the next step, to comment on the post. We talk so much about the algorithm. So if we follow the 80-20 rule most of the time as far as promo pieces of content. You can piggyback these off pieces of content that are non-promotional at all, but still have a promotional type call to action. So later in this resource, we're going to actually show those. I think we've covered everything here. So today's can be, we're going to do more of the how today. All right, let's see. Oh, we've covered too. Where do they go? Obviously, they go typically at the end, but if you have a long piece of content, so again, we typically think of social media posts, but these can be in blogs as well. So I know you've read the blog and it's been an epic blog. It's kept your attention, but throughout that blog, you want to work in your call to action throughout. Same with a social post. It's more important in a social post because it's so much easier for them to scroll on by and not finish your post. So give them good hooks and feed them throughout.
Exactly. And it's not just about static social posts either. Like this, we wrote this to apply to video content, virtually any kind of content that you could think about putting out online. These principles are going to apply in the same way. So yes, if it's short, then, a simple call to action at the end is going to do it. But if you are on a 5 or 10 minute live video, which we talked about the last 2 weeks and actually gave out specific scripts for how to do it, you can go back and actually see the natural places where you could sprinkle in call to actions that are relevant, not necessarily salesy either, but then you can always end with that, sign up for my membership here or download my freebie here.
Or want to learn more, or there's so many different ways.
Click here now.
Yeah. So, we're a fan of batching. So doing this once and writing a whole bunch of them and creating a bank of them will really, really help you. We talk about different forms of media. Well, this live training here is a form of media, and we have already given you several, if you will, call to actions about getting the take action trainings. That is an example of a call to action and working it into whatever piece of content. So you piggyback off of what you've already done and how it can be helpful to someone else. We're posing those to you because it will, if you're starting here and this is your first time, there are things in the past that would be helpful. So think about that when you're composing your content in your flow. What do you have to offer people? That's the starting point for when you're creating these.
Exactly.
All right. Rolling on. All right. So some ideas.
Exactly. And these ideas, so Julie said it in the beginning, and I disagree with her that we were giving you mainly salesy call to action ideas. I think you could, with the exception of maybe the third one, any of these could be spun in like a non-salesy kind of way. Because if you go back to our social selling take action training, where we talked in detail for over an hour about the 80-20 rule and how to make that nice balance where you're not turning people off and getting people to unfollow you, you will see that a lot of the times the call to action on those 80% of posts that are not promotional, they provide value and you're leading people and helping people and establishing yourself as a resource. The call to action in those non-promo posts can easily lead to something free that you have, something helpful that you have, something that is going to help move people along in their journey. And then the call to actions in the 20% of the posts are where you're going to make your money. So that first one, sign up for free here, easy. If you're a Beachbody coach and you have a free fitness community where you better be providing really good value and helping people get to know, like, and trust you and get results without spending a dime, that's where you're going to put that in.
Exactly. And man, I hate to really work this in, but we had a training on freebies as well, a whole long series on freebies. So if you don't have a freebie, you need one for this reason, because call to actions, your social strategy, it's one thing to just post. And, we put out content. We have your social plan, all of that content. We stress for you to rewrite those captions and make them pertain to your business in some way. So at the end, there should be some type of natural fit, again, for the call to action. And a freebie is the number one way. If you don't have a freebie yet, that's okay. you can still ask for them to reach out to you in private messenger. There's lots of other ways.
Join your Facebook group. That's
Yep.
my favorite one that's so often overlooked. Your Facebook group, if you're providing the value that you should be providing, I'm not going to reference the Facebook group TAT either. But guys, at this point, we have done so much. The value is absolutely redonkulous in that Take Action training program. But the Facebook group can be one of your best free resources. So don't ever hesitate to let that be your call to action, because you get people in your Facebook group and then you can really, that's where they are going to shine. That's where people are going to get to know you, because you are in charge of the content there. You are in charge of the experience there. And most importantly, you are in charge of the news feed there.
For sure. And really engaging in your own group is how you're going to make that connection. So
yeah.
anyway.
So don't be hesitant. If you don't have the freebie, you're still good. Get that Facebook group going and start cultivating some know, like, and trust in there.
Yep. And one other thing, if you don't have a freebie, is it can be I talked about just reaching out in the direct messages, but it can be a 15-minute consult. It can be a 15-minute chat, whatever. So don't think, oh my gosh, I don't have any of this. Just think about what you can offer someone and go from there. All right. So next is an example of get started now at whatever. That this one is a more promotional. It's obviously going to be a call to action to your training. It could be a free training. You could be bringing them into your funnel. So with that, get started now. But that is a good way to lead up to how to work in your call to action. So it can be high ticket, it can be low ticket, it can be whatever. Again, if you're on step one of your business, back up and offer the chat. But for this, if you already have a product, you're going to want to let it shine here.
For sure. And this is, so I really like the get started now, especially if you've already put out a little content there. Just make sure that link goes somewhere where they can take action. The last thing you want to do is send them somewhere where they can get lost. The more calories people have to burn to understand and to read yet something else or yet another feature, the more likely you are to lose them. So if you're using Get Started Now and someone's, just know that when someone clicks that link, they read Get Started Now and they're ready to get started. So send them to a checkout page, send them to the sign up page, send them directly to where they can take that action, not just simply a sales page where they can learn more and have to click yet again to actually do the thing.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons why a true sales page doesn't have a header at the top. Typically, is because people get lost. So send them direct to you want them to go. So, all righty. Give product a try by, and then tell them how to sign up. So give your social plan a try today. Sign up here, or go give it a try. If you have a free trial, whatever. This language, especially if you have a free trial of it, will help people to embrace trying it without having to buy it yet. The giving them that permission that it's okay. Words have underlying meanings. So to give it a try means I'm not necessarily committed. You can send them to a checkout page and they're going to, bay and they'd be committed. But I love the give it a try. It's like saying that, hey, what are you going to lose? There's lots of underlying implications there.
Yeah, there's some really great psychology at play when you talk about trying something. And yeah, if you have a free trial, obviously that's great. But if you don't have a free trial, you can still use this. And by using the try language, as Julie said, it takes that pressure off. And if you have a 30-day money back guarantee or something like that, obviously that helps too. But just the words, trying it, can really help someone overcome that feeling of immense, what am I trying to say? Like commitment. Yeah. So if someone's struggling with like a big commitment or something like that, showing them, just try it, give it a try with me is such a nice way to kind of take that pressure off and also kind of convey you as really relatable and kind of personable. Yeah.
Exactly. An example is like your social plan. If you're familiar with that, we do not have a free trial for that because there's so much value there. We just cannot do it. So what we do is piggyback on the fact that you can cancel, before your next billing. So you're getting all of that for one low price. So we've written many, 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 many different versions of this one call to action to piggyback, to say you can try it without the overall commitment. Yes, they're committing to a membership, but they can cancel. So we're giving them the out, if you will.
Yeah. And then my favorite. All right, where's all of my coaches, life coaches, anyone who is personally leading someone or a group of someone's through something? This one is your one, because most people are pretty overwhelmed with life. Things are tough. Things are busy. Things are mysterious. So when you start coming to people with let's do this together, let's take the overwhelm out of social media together. Here's how you can here's your first month of social media content for $37 a month. That can help someone overcome even the steepest of objections. And that's really all selling is helping people overcome the objections, helping people see that they can be successful, and helping people see how your product or your service or your consultation can better their life, help them overcome a problem that they struggle with. And that all goes back to knowing your ideal client.
Exactly. And in these, I want you to, we didn't give you spaces here, but take a piece of paper and try to really think about these and come up with 5 or 10 ways that, to you in your business, in your product, what you're offering in this specific one together. What can we do together? List their pains, list the benefits of the together part, and come up with, go ahead and pre-do these. Think about how you can have those. When you have these on your notepad somewhere, we are in the dashboard. We have the hashtag templates where there's snippet templates or call to action templates coming. So think about how much time would be saved if you had 30 or 40 of these worked up, and all you had to do was choose one that was pertinent to the piece of content. So it's no secret, we are batching people. So anyway, the togetherness is one of my favorite ones.
And 30 or 40 sounds really exhausting to me. But if you write down 2 of each, or just brainstorm 2 of each, really it's the art of letting it roll off, especially since we've been talking for the last 2 weeks about how superior video content or live content is to other types of content. Then just giving this some thought and kind of getting comfortable with how your product services play into those 4 CTAs can really do you a great service when you're on your next video. Exactly. 10 seems like a ton to Hilda.
Yes. But if you take each one, and again, they can be written in different ways. That's one thing that you want to be careful with, is not to use the same call to action over and over and over. You can use the same idea of it, but rewrite it a little bit differently each time. So that's why I came up with, like 30 or 40. The whole rewriting of it is Jessica's still like, But
Julie is scaring people off right now.
Sorry. We're all in different places too. So you got to think, how many products do we have? How many, if you have one product or one freebie, one whatever. So again, make it pertinent to you. Don't be scared off. 2. is better than what you had before you got on this training. Okay. We just want you to understand and put this into practice, whether you do them ahead of time or whether as you're writing your post, you're writing a new one every time, whatever works for you. We're batchers, but not everyone is. Not everyone, they like to just be creative and on the flow. So.
All right. This last page. So for those of you who hadn't been here, then you probably have never heard Jess talk about her baby biz self. But at some point in my life, I was the worst salesperson ever because you just have to learn. You have to cut your teeth. And I had to include this because it is such a common thing to do. It's actually encouraged if you're in any kind of MLM or direct sales. You've probably heard from your upline and in your company training to say things like this in every post. Well, I want to say if you are in MLM and you aren't in TAT yet, you haven't done take action training, it would have greatly accelerated my business and helped me probably quadruple or to the nth my sales. But I had to put these here for you guys because I have actually done the wrong thing multiple times. But here's 2 examples of call to actions that are excruciatingly popular, but so terribly ineffective.
Let me say why really quick. Because we talked about this.
Well, I was letting you talk. So that was my intro for you.
Okay. So we talk about in social selling that the algorithm, how the algorithm works. We talk about this all the time, but if you are consistently putting out product after product after product after product, the second time someone sees it and they scroll by on a post. So if someone's doing this to get by your products as they see them every time, they're never going to see them again. Facebook is not going to, if you're showing disinterest, they're not going to get the opportunity to see it again. So we have to get creative with the call to actions, and check out this new product is not creative. So the why on this is far more important than anything. So in thinking about how you're constructing your posts.
Exactly. And why is it not important? And that's because people don't come to social media to learn about products. They definitely don't go to their news feed to learn about products. They go to their news feed, they don't know what's next, but they can't stop scrolling. So you have to give them something that they want. And I guarantee you that's not introduction to a new product in this way. So what you have to do is just be a little bit more nuanced about this. And whenever I learned this, that was when I got my 40 leaders beneath me. That's whenever I reached almost 1,000 customers. That is what makes the difference between someone who just signed up for $29.99 or for free and someone who takes it to an income that can build your dream lifestyle. So this is what you want to say instead. That was a whole lot of
I think knowing the
invisible
why
confetti.
Yeah, I know why the why is so important, and that's why these take actions take longer than 10 minutes, because we want you to know why.
Exactly. So not only will they not care that it's a product, they won't really care that they definitely won't care that it's a new product. So you need to lead instead with the benefits. So, the big thing that whenever I was a leader in Beachbody was everyone would just take a picture of their Shakeology cup. I did it. I went and deleted most of the photos, so don't even bother going and looking. But that's what they did at the beginning. That's what everyone does. And it's the same. I use Beachbody because that is where I built my empire, but you can see it too with the unique girls. You can see it now with some of the Bellamy girls who aren't socially inclined yet. Definitely with the Rodan and Fields. It's just look at this new product, and that's not where it's gonna work. So if you look here, I gave you an example. If we said something like, check out this new version of YSP, most people would not care at all. But instead, if you talk about how it's benefiting you and you talk about how it's given you more time, how you can finally get to spend time with your kid that you used to have to sacrifice because you were at work all day, and then you had to come home and schedule all this social media content for your side hustle. You talk about the benefits first. So the example here, keeping up with my social media marketing, has always been a struggle. Amen, right? Even if I worked on content all day, I've been there as well. Working with the team at Socially Inclined has helped me finally see some results, and I get more engagement too, which is what everyone wants. And that's what we work so hard to bring into all of our content with YSP. YSP has really helped me. There you go.
So knowing your target market will help you construct great call to actions. So we have a Facebook group. We record you. If you're in it, you answered some questions to be in it. And we take those words that people say. Engagement is the biggest thing that people have trouble with. Consistency is another one. So those are people's pains. So if you will address people's pains and have a solution for them, that's how you sell. Showing the, Shakeology cup. Yes, I might be somewhat interested. I'm like, oh, a new shake, whatever, new flavor. Maybe, but what does it do for me? What, if I'm wanting to lose weight, how does it help me to do that? Why should I care about it is more important than check out this new product. So answering the pains. And when we talk, when I talk about batching, that's going to be some of those self-discovery things of what it is that you're answering for people. That's how you'll write your call to actions, and they'll actually be quite effective. All right.
Exactly. We have some questions, but we'll come back to them right after we finish this. This is the end of it right here.
This is it. Yep. All right. So the next one, here's this month's special. All right. So how can we reframe that? I mean, yes, we all have specials. We've had specials. We've probably used this recently because, we're not going to call you out if you do use it, but it doesn't matter how much of a sale you're having, not having, whatever, as long as it solves a problem. Again, piggybacking on that other one, communicate the problem that it solves. That is what everyone's looking for. And then you can say, and by the way, it happens to be on sale. So
yeah, right. If you can master this, you don't actually need to ever have anything on sale again.
Right. People will pay. That's the huge difference in online or anywhere. It takes just as much effort to sell a $37 product as it takes to sell a $3,700 product.
It's all about messaging.
Exactly. So if you can get your messaging right, and the call to action is the most important message that you will put out. So it's true of sales pages too. If you go look at people's sales pages, the ones that are killing it are leading with what the person's pain is. You go look at some, I promise. So if you've captured their attention from the algorithm, you've gotten them to stop and read your post. If you can address what the pain is, then you are so far ahead of the game as cultivating them into being a client or a purchaser or whatever you want to call it. So you want to reframe this one, Jess? The end, like an example?
Yeah, sure. Hold on. Give me a second. I was writing.
I will.
No, please do, because I was actually trying to write something in chat and I was not listening to you.
No. Okay. No. So here, I'm just going to read it as is. It says, Jessica did such a good job writing this. If you're having it's just the last.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't think I put an example here, but go for it.
If you're having a sale this month or trying to push sales of a certain product, start by brainstorming 5 ways that the product benefits the user. So we covered that. You will now have enough info to create 5 pieces of content. All right, Hilda, you were worried about the 10. So if you're brainstorming, it takes more effort. That's why we're such a fan of batching, is because when you get in the zone and you're already thinking about what the pains are, you can just divert those into, they don't have to be finished posts. They can just be ideas that you're jotting down. All right. So 5 pieces of content that identify the problem, gives a benefit, and offers the product a solution. Use a CTA that highlights that benefit in each post. Start seeing the benefits here with a link. So that's the most important part of this, is start seeing the benefits here. That's how that call to action should lean out instead of this month's special. So sorry about that, Jess.
No, that was fabulous. That was great. Yeah. So I want to just go ahead. I love what Shannon just said. Wow. No wonder I never buy, because I always feel sold to.
Hello.
Is
Sabina here today? Because that's the takeaway from the day.
Everybody take in what she just said. And if you use those words as a gut check for everything you put out, when you put out a piece of content, when you put out, whether it's on the 80 side of the, the 80% content, the 80-20 rule, I'm not going to give it away. Go get the trainings. We've already done a whole training on that. But whether it's on the 80 side or the 20 side, you need to look at your content piece by piece and ask yourself, if I saw this on my news feed, would I feel sold to? And if you answer yes to that, then you need to dig back into this training, dig back into some of the other trainings until you can honestly answer no. That actually makes me feel really good. That actually makes me really curious about how I can get that result, or how I can have more time with my family, et cetera, et cetera.
And that's one point that we didn't bring up in this call to action training is curiosity. That will, if you can work curiosity in them wanting to reach out to find out more, that's one of the best call to action tactics there is not giving away everything in the call to action. Force them to click that link to find out more, but you got to bait them with enough. So, all right.
Bait in a good way. So we have some questions. Hilda, bait is only bad if you bait and switch. Hilda, How do you take that into accessories? Because I would end up saying they'll make you look good or finish your look all the time. So Hilda, you'd take it into accessories the same way you would take it into life coaching, the same way you would take our fitness example, our Beachbody example, into a makeup industry. And I think you're definitely on the right track, because people who are interested in accessories are obviously going to have an interest in looking good or in having that finished look, which by the way, I am super terrible at. I will wear like the most banging dress, and then when it comes time to go out the door, I have like my wedding ring on. That's a mom thing though, because I used to give a lot of thought to like earrings and bracelets and necklaces and all that. But now it's just like, hair's done, makeup's done. I'm married. Let's go.
And that could be some great social posts for you. You know, accessorizing can be fun. Yeah. You know, what's missing from your wardrobe? Why wear the same old thing all the time? You know, so you need to think about who you're selling to. So if it's moms, they're not taking the time. What can you do to compel them to want to dress up, want to like add that extra piece of bling? It makes you feel good.
Yeah, I need the service where I like show someone my dress and then they send me earrings, bracelet, and everything that's going to match with it. And then I just can kind of like keep it with the dress. So next time I just slip it on, I can throw everything else on.
Put it on.
Because usually I have a little bit right until the babysitter gets here. And then it's like, okay, she's here. Let's go. So
love it.
There's a lot of, we're done with the main content. So now you're going to get a whole lot of
ad lib. You're going to get a lot of ad lib here. All right. I'm trying to catch up with the questions.
Yeah, there was a few.
Let's see. Tiffany says, I have a question. A company I want to work with has a no return policy. How do you go around that?
Wasn't that Shannon?
Shannon. I'm sorry. She said, nice, Tiffany. Sorry. This is Shannon. Yes.
Okay.
So Shannon is an affiliate marketer. So that means she pitches other people's products. And the no return policy, I think, we have a no return policy. So, I mean, you know, it is, because you're getting the content up front. So I think you don't hide it, but you don't highlight it. So you talk about, for us, we reframe it in the fact that you can cancel after a month. You still get to keep all this great content. So you're thinking about the pros of what they get up front. So I think, again, I think the main takeaway from that is not to hide it, but don't highlight it.
Exactly. Or you can come at it from a value standpoint. Like, yes, there's no return policy, but it's only $99.99 and it's a $2,000 value. You didn't tell us what company, and that's fine. But without knowing more about it, that's how. It
kind of does depend on what it, if it were jewelry or, we don't know what it is, but for the most part, I think just not bringing attention hugely to it is kind of the best course for that. A lot of times in the sales page, there's frequently asked questions and things like that. You can address it.
All right, Julie. I think we've just learned a new one. I'm going to have to Google this Longaberger burger thing. That's the MLM. Oh, interesting.
Make me scratch my head on that one.
I know. And we've seen it all, done it all, but not this one.
There are some new ones.
Look, Debbie knows baskets. Interesting. Carrie Ann. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you know what else this mama has not done since May of 2019? I have not gotten my nails done.
Oh.
So that would be, Julie can't relate because she's got month after month after month appointments.
Yeah, no, I stopped for a whole year, and
COVID made you
a little bit due to COVID, but I know it might not look like it, but I really don't spend a lot of money on hair and makeup and blah, blah, blah. Really. So I was in a place where I was trying to decide if, do I want to do that? And I decided, yes, that is something that makes me happy. It's not right for everybody, whatever, but it makes me happy. My fingernails don't break. Gel nails. All right.
Interesting. This Longaberger. I'm going to have to. Longaberger burger. Very interesting.
Okay.
They've been around for many years. Gosh, now I feel like an idiot.
Did we answer this? So Debbie had a question. Jennifer Bryson says, maybe I'm dense here, but how does this apply to a product like a candle? So same as the accessories. It is a product based. How you're really wanting to evoke the sense of, with candles, how does the candle make them feel? What benefit? Thinking about if they've the smell, the whatever, when you're coming up with the call to actions on that. Just not a straight up salesy call to action, I think is more what we're talking about here for product-based businesses.
I love
creative ways.
I love the idea of creating a sanctuary, because people, specifically, your clients will probably be, maybe they have a job. And they're away from the home all day, every day. They come in, think about the story. You're creating a story and a narrative for these people, so that they can really relate and pick up what you're putting down. So they come in from a long day of work, they light a candle, and, it's their favorite scent, or it's a relaxing scent that kind of helps them in the day in a way that will create a better evening, create a better night's sleep. All of that is dependent on who your ideal client is, who you feel like you speak to the best or the most effectively. So obviously, if you already know your ideal client is stay-at-home moms, then that example may not be the best. But my bet is if you sell candles, you probably also sell other fragrances and things like that. If not, sorry, but all of that can kind of play into what your ideal client's day to day is, and kind of giving them pieces of their story that they can relate to.
Right. Again, like I talked about, using our Facebook group and what the pains were, you're just going to address wash the days away with the beautiful, scent of lavender, blah, 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 how it, whatever. But that wasn't a great example, but you get the idea. You're trying to evoke why they need a candle in their life, how it will help them. So I probably could have done that.
Yeah. So lead with the benefits. Your candle, if it's a sexy candle, then talk about the benefits. If it's a essential oils candle, talk about the benefits. If your ideal client is a mom, then talk about lighting a candle and taking a bath after the kids go to bed. That is the focus, not hey, I have this new candle. Buy it.
Right. What's the candle going to do for them is
right.
Just pull it down. What
create that picture for them.
Yeah, they can go to, everyone has lots of competitors. So we have competitors, you have Bed Bath & Beyond, whatever. So what can you do differently to evoke? You have to evoke that emotion with them that'll be like, yes, I deserve that candle right now. I'm ordering it,
I don't care if it's $25 or $50.
Right, exactly. I need the candle to help me wash the day away, whatever, It's been a rough day.
Yeah, you can look up some of the Lindor. I love the Lindor truffle commercials where there's this woman and she's literally just eating this chocolate in such a way where you're like, man, I wish I felt.
I wish I had that chocolate.
I wish I felt like that. She's just kicking her feet back and digging into it. I guess the secret is to eat it a couple bites at a time. I've never really mastered that, but
that's how I do it.
It's the same kind of feeling, or it's that feeling that's tied to that product that sells the chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to snip some of these. You guys might show up in our email. If you guys want to leave good feedback about what we've been talking about, I'd love to highlight it in our email later or tomorrow morning. Let's see.
I'm still checking to see if there's any more questions. Debbie, if you have any, drop it. I'm not to the end of the chat, but if you saw any other ones, drop it at the end. Or if you have any more. We're doing great on time today. And I feel like we covered a lot without being too fluffy.
Yeah, this one has been definitely fun. And thank you for letting me know about the baskets MLM. I want to look more into that. Let's see.
Dang, is Savita not here today?
She is here.
Okay.
She's not been very talkative.
Maybe she may be multitasking.
Yeah.
She's going to have to go back and watch it on 2X. We have to work that in. All right. Yep. I'll answer, Debbie says. All right. So,
perfect.
The biggest thing is, if you can reach them on an emotional level, other than just saying, here's what I've got to sell, here's what you can buy, because they can buy it from many other places. Why would they want to buy it from you? You need to determine, and again, we're talking about call to actions, but this is really your whole messaging that we're talking about. It can apply to, so it can apply to the whole post. You can create a whole crop of posts addressing the benefits, not just the call to action. So this is a multi-beneficial TAT.
For sure. Yeah, she's listening and moving. See, she said it was moving day.
Oh, that's right.
Awesome. All right. Well, this has been Take Action Training. Today we covered CTAs. Do not forget that this is our 28th Take Action Training. This is one of our shorter ones, so all of the other ones are even more juicy about every possible topic that you will need as a business owner. So if you don't know what we're talking about, make sure you head over to socialinclined.com/take action and get access to the replays. Well, Holly asked the last minute question. Yeah, for sure. It's always a great idea to keep a finger on the pulse of your competitors.
Right. And the ones that have a lot of comments typically would be your queue, but the ones that are answering the benefit or creating some emotion, those are the ones you want to pay attention to. do not copy them, but use them for inspiration. It's really hard once but we always look at competition. We look at other, not just our competition, but other markets or other industries, if you will, just to see what's working for them too and how we can apply it in our business.
Exactly.
So I love looking at other people's stuff. Just don't get shiny object syndrome. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis, right? Think about the benefits, the pains to the people, make your list, sit down and brain dump. That's how I do it. May not be right for everybody, but.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank y'all for joining us today. We have, so this is 28. We have a good many more. I can't wait to see what all we're planning the rest of the year. So I can't wait to see what's coming, but I know we've got 12 other ones we've already got jotted down. So thank y'all so much.
All right. We will see everybody for coffee and questions on Thursday.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.